Hey everybody, Psychosaurus is here. Welcome back to Age of Empires Online. As you can see, summer event is here. 2023. Hell yeah. It's about to get hot. Or rather, it is already hot. It just started being hot in Age of Empires Online. But yes, with the new event, guess what? We got new things happening and some changes happening. So that's what we're gonna do here. We got some changes, and yes, we got from, well, this is actually from 2 days ago, but this patch actually is the one that brought the summer event data into the game, and then there was one maintenance. So we will go through these changes and the event overall, and obviously there are items, stores, so tell you what to do, what to do to get as effective as possible, and so on. So yeah, changes from 2 days ago. So okay, nothing. Summer event data for summer event preloaded. The event will start. It started today. It's almost, this is Central Europe summertime, so like 21 hours ago. And if you don't know, I don't know if I see it. Yes, I got the timer here. So if you go on the forums, here you have the timer telling you how long you actually have left for the summer event till the end. So yes, and all of these actually will be in the description, so if you want to check these out for yourself, hey, links in the description. So yeah, bug fixes. Let's start with these. Fixed an issue where some Babylonian generals' names were not being displayed as intended in several quests. So if I had to guess, it would be like General Zeus quest pack for legendary quest. I would expect them there. Don't know anything about it, but it's just a little bit of flavor on top of this patch. Fixed an issue where treasure chest guardians did not behave as intended in the quest legendary I don't need your civil war. So this one was actually pretty funny bug, because when you started fighting the guardians, they would just run away. They would not even fight you. And it wasn't just the treasure guardians, it was actually huntables as well. There were elephants. I tried attacking them, they did not fight back. So that was actually funny to see. Don't ask me what happened there, but hey, it should be fixed. They should be fighting you now properly. No easy food for you from those elephants now. But yeah, I still need to do these new Tarsos quests anyway, so we'll check that out soon enough. Fixed an issue where several quest mechanics did not work as intended in the quest legendary I don't need your civil war. Okay, because I haven't done that quest, I need to explain it. Basically, you start with a small group of units with some villagers, and you are like supposed to repair Babylonian buildings. Once they are fully fixed, you'll get them under your control. And there are also some broken siege units which you can repair, and they'll become yours. Pretty interesting mechanic there. And for some reason, if you were playing in co-op, if you repair it, it would become under your control, but if your ally would come near that building, it would suddenly fall under their control. So that was actually funny. I don't know if this includes this kind of mechanic, but hopefully yes. So if you like to play co-op, that should be good news for you. I hoped. I don't know what else was there. Like, this should have been the main thing happening there. So yeah, hopefully it will work. Definitely need to visit that quest soon than later. Okay, fixed a display name issue with one of the AIs in legendary Battle of Timbra. Okay, I'm not really checking the name, so maybe if you watch my video, maybe you can see it there. I don't know what this was. Okay, it's just, again, it's just flavor added to this, just a detail, nothing that should affect the quest that much. Fixed an issue with the Celtic fishing boat where it was incorrectly having the convertible tag. This one is actually funny, because I never really tried converting fishing boats or boats in general, because I know that you cannot convert arrow ships. So I was like, okay, I'm not really gonna bother with that. But this one was actually funny. But the question is, how many quests can you actually see fishing boats, namely the Celtic ones? Because I can't think of like any out of my head right now. So that's kinda like, okay, good change, definitely should be fixed now. But I have to ask, whether was I supposed to abuse that? That's my question, because I don't seriously remember any Celtic fishing boats. Maybe in some Celtic quest, but that's it. And by Celtic, I mean just the starting campaign for the Celts. Okay, moving on. Fixed an issue with Warlord where Psychosaurus where he didn't affect druids and scouts as intended. And I was mentioning that. I said that. God dang it. I said it. This guy better affect druids. So yeah, that should work now. Basically, if you don't know where Psychosaurus, he's affecting the Celtic units by increasing their base bonus damage. And this one is like, from the technological point of view, every unit is there put separately. So if you have like the spearman increased bonus damage, it's increasing only the cavalry damage. So Vercingetorix will just give spearman specifically bonus against cavalry. That's how it should work, okay? And yeah, should fix druids and scouts. Although scouts I do not expect to be alive that late. Druids can be interesting because, hey, you can counter some huntables. But yeah, it's not like... I mean, how often do you use druids against huntables? That's a good question. Moving on. Fixed an issue where trajectory specialist Timo did not affect Palinteron spawn from the Siege of the Empire consumable. Well, that is an interesting fact. I don't really care about consumables, but someone who was using consumables suddenly noticed that, and yes. So if you ask me, I don't really care, okay? No consumables, and especially Palinteron's consumable. Ooh. No. Especially when you say the name Siege of the Empire, that tells me it's from the Empire store. Those Empire consumables, those are really bad. If I had to say, they used to be the pay-to-win consumables back in the day. And right now, I still say they are pay-to-win because goddamn they're strong. If you use like quick storehouse, okay, I can live with that. But using extra villagers from the Empire consumables or extra resources, that's too strong. Don't use that. Okay. Fixed several spawning script issues with some civilizations that prevented them from spawning the correct units under certain circumstances. Okay, I have no idea what this is about, okay? I don't know. I would need some like, some instance, that's the word. I would need to know some instance where this was happening, or like I just cannot tell what's going on here. So don't know what this fix is about. Fixed an issue where several trees were not functioning as intended in Battle of Timbra. Okay, this is one thing I have definitely noticed because I was like trying to Timbra, and you might have noticed that as well. I don't remember if I said it in my video, but basically there was a bunch of trees, and specifically in the right corner. So if you tried harvesting wood from there, you would notice that you don't have that much wood. And why would be that? Because those villagers that were trying to harvest wood from there were not harvesting wood at all, because they kept trying to cut down the trees, which I think I was talking about this some time ago. But yes, villagers need to kill the tree, in quotes, like, I mean, they're literally killing the tree, but it's not the same way as, let's say, ballista wood. They just, if the villager kills it, it's like cutting it down, and then they start harvesting. And you can see this in some specific quests where you need to cut down the tree, and then you can start harvesting from it. I think it's one of the Well of Earth quests, repeatables for Chop Some Wood, I think it's called, where you have to cut down those big trees. If you try to cut them down, you can notice that it takes very long time for them to actually take down. But yeah, back to Timbra. What was going on, actually, those trees were actually immune to the damage. So they were not, you could not harvest from them until you actually have dealt with the Babylonian waves. And I'm not even joking. Literally, you just had to take care of the Babylonian waves. Once the 10th wave has come, the trees became vulnerable, you could harvest them. So that was the issue. Fixed an issue where the quest Legendary Invasion of Aegitna was not being completed as intended. Yeah, I saw screenshots. Basically, you complete Aegitna. Nope. Fail. Cannot complete. You can only restart and play it again, but basically it could not be completed. That's what happened. So that was a bug. I'm happy I didn't go into Aegitna solo and then finding it out. That would be nasty. Okay, quest updates. Legendary Don't Cry made adjustments to the excavation site in the northeast so that the miners are unable to irreversibly convert Bahram's caravan or to block players' movement with the unmined gold deposits. Made several adjustments to the quest difficulty settings based on community feedback. Okay, so first of all, some players had issues with the caravan being converted by the miners there. They were mining the gold, and I'm like, I mean, you could have just shift commanded the caravan to walk around, not get converted, but okay. I guess players did not realize, hey, this unit can get converted. So far did not happen to me, but yes, this change happened. I did not try Don't Cry yet with these new changes. I have no idea how the difficulty was adjusted. No idea at all. But basically, from what I know, if you let the AIs, the closer ones, I mean, if you destroy their TCs early, the quest becomes much easier. But if you let them boom and just do their thing, the quest can become quite a nightmare with quite a huge spam. And I'm not joking. I was trying it for the first time. I was like, what the hell is going on here? Just so many units, and I was like unable to push at all. Okay, moving on. Battle of Opis and its legendary variant made several adjustments and improvements to the map layout. I need to check that, so definitely we need to check the Battle of Opis. I think basically the quest looked the same, just few differences, so I don't know how much adjustments it got. So we'll see about that. I know there was like a pathway, you know, the small outpost near you. There's like the wall, there's a tower on top of the cliff. I know there was a path you could walk through, so maybe that's the thing. But let's move on. We'll check Opus later. Maybe I'll notice that as I'll be doing it. Battle of Timbra and its legendary variant. The enemy bases are now completely invulnerable before their 10 waves have been completed. So, basically someone did not like that Polytrons could be used to snipe the enemy bases before you got even in. Yeah, come on, it was a good strat. Okay, I guess we will have to do the official Battle of Timbra way. How to do it properly. And guess what? I don't care. I got it with Persians. I got it under 20 minutes done, so I'm okay. So yeah, I guess I'll have to remake Battle of Timbra again. So that's what we're gonna do it properly. Honestly, I hope at least that you can destroy the fortresses and towers near the walls, but since it's saying the enemy bases are completely invulnerable, I'm afraid that's not the case, because that is one seriously annoying thing, that you have like walls here, you have the towers and fortresses there, so your units will be taking free damage, which is not funny at all. So we'll see about that. Holy Man and its legendary variant. The first village now spawns villagers matching the player's civilization. And this was one thing I was complaining about when the Tarsus rework came out. That the villagers you converted before were spawned as Persian villagers. So when you were playing as, let's say, Greeks or Egyptians or Norse, when you converted the villagers, you had Persian villagers. And the disadvantage for you was that those villagers have no gear, because they are not yours. They are not your units. So you cannot put gear on them, officially. But if you are playing as Persian, obviously, Persian villagers, they are yours. you get the gear on them. So my issue with this, number one and most obvious, lack of gear, because you are put at a disadvantage. You play as Greeks. My villagers don't have the tools. My villagers don't have the cloth armor. So I am not gathering that fast. I am not constructing that fast. So that was one issue. Second issue I had with it was that if you had the Persian villagers and you are not Persian, you were unable to build walls with the villager. Don't ask me the details about this. From what I understand, it's just each villager you know, they have like their layouts of the buildings, and the walls are just not like common among all civs, because each civ has its own special wall. Although the first wall looks the same, it's actually different. Okay, so if I had a Greek villager, I could build my Greek wall, but if that villager got converted by the Norse, then the Norse would not be able to build a wall, because that's not Norse wall, that's a Greek wall. Just small explanation how it works. But yeah, I'm glad this happened, because I would have to say that it was very unfair that you have this civ that actually has advantage of the gear, while the others have to take the slow way to get there. So yeah, good thing. Anyway, the quest is easy, so even before, okay, it was manageable. So I was not like super mad about it, but it was something I called unfair towards the other civs. Okay, moving on. Art updates, nothing. UI updates. Made several minor typo fixes. Okay, whatever. Made adjustments to quest markers, the floating icons about quest givers' heads, to make them more prominent on the minimap. Added a new icon for incomplete quests for quest givers on the minimap. So if you know, like, you have the quest giver, you know, it has either the exclamation mark or it has the question mark, depending like if the quest is available or you have it active, and then obviously colors, blah blah blah, so on. And yes, these icons were actually on the minimap as well, and they are still there. Just they are now, I should say, I wouldn't say they are more visible, I should say they are like better visible or better highlighted, because it's like the symbols actually got better or thicker border lines of it, so you can actually see it more highlighted. So if you have like the yellow exclamation mark on the minimap and you are like on some Egyptian map, it would easily like blend in with the background, so it could have been harder to see. So now with the thicker borderline or stroke or whatever it's called, it should be much easier to spot it on the minimap. So that's the thing. We can see that in a moment once we get to the city. Okay, and that's it from these changes. So if you ask me, some nice changes. Definitely I can agree with the holy man, that should be the right thing to do in my opinion. It's up to you, how do you feel about this? I kind of dislike, okay, if it's the base I'm fine, but if the defenses, the fortresses, towers are not destroyable, then it's annoying. Okay, then we have the Battle of Opis, we need to check that, blah blah blah, some nice bug fixes. So far okay patch. And then we got a patch today. Once the event came out, guess what, there are always some issues, so some bugs, some bug fixes, and here we go. So, bug fixes. Fixed a visual bug with the 500 summer points daily login reward. Basically, the icon was like, I don't know if you have ever seen it, but you could have seen it right now during once the event has started, that if you go to the daily rewards window and you see the you saw the icon for the today's reward, the Mondays, it actually was like this placeholder, whatever it's called. It's like the circle that is crossed from one side, or how should I describe it? It's just this weird texture, okay? So that would happen if you hovered your cursor over it, it would turn into the icon of the summer event points. So yeah, this should have been fixed and it should be always the summer event points now. Fixed an issue where the Babylonian and Egyptian civilizations did not start with the correct buildings in accordance to their starting age in the quest Legendary the Magi's Bounty. So, from what I saw, you start in the quest in Silver Age, and in case of Egyptian and Babylonians, you did not start with the temples. So, I mean, for Babylonians, that would not be that big issue because you would have to build a ziggurat, which, okay, that can be annoying because now you have to spend the resources to get it. But what was the issue? It was mainly with the Egyptian, because even though you were in Silver Age, you still needed the previous two temples to be actually able to age up to the Golden Age. So if you built the Temple of Ptah, you were still age free. And don't ask me how this works, because I feel like that even without the temples, you should be able to age up. That's how it should work. Maybe some flags that, hey, this temple was built, but you're Silver Age anyway. I don't know. But yeah, that should have been fixed. We'll definitely check the Magi's Bounty. Darsos will have to wait a little bit because we got the event quest added. So yeah, we'll talk about these. And yes, other updates. So the price of set sash of the Solstice and the Rakotis General Store has been lowered to 17,500 summer points from 35,000. We'll talk about that later, so you get the window. The Well of Earth region has been removed from the quest rotation system until further notice. So some kind of rework is planned for the Well of Earth. To be honest, I like the way Well of Earth is right now because it feels unique in comparison to the other quests, and I kind of like the feel, and I get it. Okay, maybe the unit spam is not fun for everyone, but at least I like that the Norse actually get some strength, because, or not strength, like advantage, because if I had to fight normal Norse AI that does not like produce super fast, I feel like it would be too much. It would be too easy. I feel like that's my opinion, but I am not against some kind of small rework if it affects mainly the unit spam, because in some cases I feel like the unit spam is absurd. So if some of these changes could happen, sure, I don't have a problem. I could see that on, especially in Asgard, because sometimes it's really annoying to just get through the choke point and you're like finding the units and they just keep coming and you're like, they keep coming faster than I can kill them. Like, what? Ow. So yeah, if anything, I will just do something about the spam. I would have do something about the choke points in Asgard. So like the 3 choke points leading to the main base. That's something I would do. Alfheim would be the unit spam. I think Svartalfheim is another one for the unit spam. I think Niflheim and Muspelheim are fine quests, but people are complaining about the map sizes. I feel like those 2 quests are fine. I can see those 3. Helheim is okay. I don't have issue with Helheim. I think that's a fine quest as it is right now. So yeah, that's all from these small patch notes. So yeah, again, link in the description if you want to check it for yourself. And this was mostly focused on the summer event. So now let's move on to the summer event changes and what's going on here. So first of all, we got this blog again in the description, so you can check it for yourself. So let's go through this. We're not going to read through this because we'll see it in the game soon enough. So hello there, blah blah blah. What do we have? Time exclusives. So obviously we have the event gear, vanity, items at the store, some consumables included, decorations, and so on and so on. So how do you access it? Obviously we talked to Marcus Pollux. travel to Rakotis, give the quest, bam. That's what we have. Now, first thing that is new, or rather, it's not the newest thing, but it is new for the summer event. That's the login gift. So if you have been here for the last, I think, 2 winter events, then this is nothing new for you. If you're someone new, basically what's going on here is that the daily rewards that you know, like you get 30 empire points, 1000 coins, and you get 1 chest, legendary chest, random vanity, random advisor, you know, the 7 days, and then it resets. So this is what's actually happening here. We get this nice table telling us what we can expect. So we are at week 1 and today is day 1. So today you can expect 500 summer points, although I think it's saying 250. I think it was like 250 for me, but I don't know right now. We can check that. But yeah, every day you log in, you get the specific day. If you successfully log in for the 7 days, then guess what? You get all the rewards for the week. So for this week, it would be the points, material, Ras armor, 1000 summer points, essence, and set sandals. So that will be for this week. If you miss a day, then you won't get the last reward. So if you miss 1 day, you won't get the sandals. If you miss 2 days, you won't get the essence. Doesn't matter which day you miss, because it's always you log in day 1, okay, you miss day 2, you log in day 3, you will not get day 3, you will get day 2. That's how it works. And yes, so this is for the 5 weeks of the summer event. So if you are looking for something specific that you would like to get, then make sure you log in. And it's very easy. You just need to log in, get into the save, open the window with daily rewards, grab the reward. That's all you need to do. It's a question of 5 minutes, okay? Maybe even less. It's not something that you couldn't do. Just turn on the PC and then do whatever you want. You don't really have to play. You just log in, it's yours. So make sure to log in if you're looking for some specific items. These are nice rewards, okay? But what I kind of dislike about summer event is that the fact that we have 5 different materials, but in the end you will need the same amount of all of them anyway. So I kind of dislike how the way it is made, okay? So that you have like here you get this specific material, but you need like the 4 other materials to do something with it. That's pretty much it. So if I had to say, try to get all of these items, because some of these items you will not get in any other way. And if I have to suggest anything, it should be the Raz Hammer of the Solstice. Definitely get that one. It's I wouldn't say it's necessarily the best, but from my point of view, it's the best tool you can put on your engineers, the Roman engineers, because that's literally hammer for your engineers, and I wouldn't suggest putting it on your villagers no matter what, okay? Engineers, put it there. They'll be building faster, they'll be moving faster, they'll have extra health for the price of higher training time. But if you take care of your engineers, you won't really notice the fact that they take longer to train. So definitely get this one. The rest depends on you. Okay, and now we are moving to the exclusive gear. So one thing I have to say, there is no new gear this year. But if you take a look at the amount of gear you can get, there's a lot of pieces of gear. So if you want something specific, you have like a lot of pieces of gear to select from. So if we take a look at this window nicely, so we have some craftable items, which you can see here: joints, cloth armor, arrows, spear, the rudder, the sword, and I think it's Ishtar's, and then the gauntlets. I don't know if the icon is correct here, because I was reading before I started recording that this might be the wrong image. But basically you can craft the cavalry armor. I think that was the one, and this might be the infantry one. But yeah, basically these items, these 7, are crafted. You know, you have the quest giver, he has a quest, you need to gather a certain amount of materials, then you can select one of these items. That's how it works. That's how it's been working so far in almost every event. I think it might be all the events. What do I think that's how it has been since the first event with these rewards. But yeah, so as I said, we have 5 different materials. Here you can see actually the numbers that you need. So for the first 3 items, you will need 15 of each. For the next 2, you will need 25. For the next 2, you will need 35. And then for the rest of the event, you will need 45 of each. But there's one big but. It will have a cooldown, so you cannot like spend 45 and then immediately spend 45. I think this has like 3 days cooldown, so it's like spend the 45, then you will have to wait for 3 days, and then you'll be able to spend it again. So make sure whatever you choose to craft, choose wisely, okay? Because you are limited a little bit on how many you can craft. And another thing worth mentioning, make sure to split it among all of your civs, because if you craft 3 times 15 as Greeks, then it will cost you 25, but let's say you switch to Romans, the Romans will still have the first 15. So make sure you spread it across all of your civs, so you can save as many materials as possible and craft many of these items. And I'll talk about these items once we are back in the game. And yes, next one is the Rakotis General Store. If you don't know, that's the store next to the Sesostris that offers the legendary items like the throwing arm, the pure damage sword, pure damage bow, and pure health cloth armor. So from that store, you will be able to get these 3 items, which is the Set Sash, which was mentioned in the hotfix patch. So that is a scout special. Yeah, you know what, I will not get ahead of myself, keep it for the late game. So yeah, Set Sash, the speed bow, I don't remember if it's Rasbow, Solstice or whatever, with really good movement speed, and the shield, which has like highest health with small boost to damage and movement speed. Pretty okay items, or really good items to use. And then you have the login rewards, which we saw over here. So that's these 10 items. You can see some of them are also craftable, so if you want them, go ahead. But yeah, these you will get only one time, so you have only one chance of getting these items. Some of them obviously you have better chances because you can craft them as well, so that's up to you. Moving on, so one thing that has happened, and some people were complaining about these summer event items, that they are not particularly, like, how should I say, not that they are necessarily worse, but they are not like, people don't really saw the reason to pick them, because they did not seem to bring that huge advantage over like some other pieces of gear. And yeah, there's been like 8 of these items, so let's go over these. So we have the Ashos Quilted Armor of the Solstice, which was giving damage and bonus against ranged units. Previously it was 29.9%, now it's 36.7%, so this one got buffed here a little bit. And then it got added extra pierce armor, 18.7%. And also these are showing the total value when you take the damage and bonus damage, how much extra damage you're getting for that situation. So here it's actually extra, the total extra damage against ranged units, plus 50% from this item. If you compare this to Divine High Vizier, which is giving like, what's the value, like 33.7% damage, but it is damage that is used in general. This is specifically against ranged units. So that's the change. if you already had these items, so then they have been updated. There was like a chance that they might not be updated, but I'll be honest, if I did not see them updated, I would be a little bit mad, because you know what, I'm not gonna tell you about it. I'm gonna send, I'll tell you, watch the summer event starting video from me, by me from last year, so you will see what I would mean. And this item would be one of the items that I would be really angry about. So if you want to know why I feel like it would be bad if they did not get updated, watch the last year with summer event video. Okay, next one we got the Ashur's Arrows of the Solstice, which the main change here is, instead of building bonus damage 7.4%, it gives cavalry bonus damage 11.4%, so plus 20.2% against cavalry. Now, one issue with these Ashur's Arrows, when they came out, I was like, okay, it's okay to use them, it's like the best value against buildings, but it is very small difference in comparison to some other arrows. And then suddenly Winter Event came, and guess what? There was a Piercing Frost arrows. And I will keep saying those arrows need some kind of nerf, because it is seriously stupidly strong arrow that can be used in any situation pretty much. But yeah, back to this. So first of all, Piercing Frost OP. So that's why building damage was no good, because then you would have to increase it to something like 50%. No chance, okay? So it got changed to cavalry bonus range, so it's more like Arrows of Darkness with worse base damage but better bonus damage if you compare it to the Arrows of Darkness. And to be honest, I don't really care about these arrows. I mean, even after this change, I'm like, I don't really care, because where will I put this unit? Most likely, where I would see this would be something like Mounted Archers, which makes more sense, and that's probably the only unit where I would put it. But even then, I would be like, do I really want to put it there? Because Mounted Archers have very low range. The base range is quite low, so the extra range is not that huge. Damage seems okay, but then you have Apophis, which actually offers much better damage against cavalry. And to be honest, Mounted Archers are very fast units. I feel like the speed actually compensates for the lack of range. And another thing, how many Mounted Archers do you actually train? Because I feel like you can get away with just like, I would say somewhere between 8 to 12 units. And the main reason you're training them is to counter cavalry. Sure, okay, extra range can help, but because they're fast, they can just get closer, hit them, run away if you micro them properly. And that's pretty much it. I just don't see a reason to grab the maximum range that much. But if you want, hey, Mounted Archers are probably one of the best units to suggest. But if I had to suggest anything else, it would be like, if you use some general unit, but you have issues with cavalry mainly. It's not like, hey, infantry is not the issue, ranged units are not the issue, it's the cavalry that's really annoying. So that's what I would suggest it. But yeah, I digressed a little bit. Here, I should have kept it for later, but I didn't hold myself. Well, whatever. Is it a good change? I think yes, because at least someone might use it, actually. From my point of view, I don't really care about these arrows at all. I feel like I would rather have something else, but it's okay to use them, definitely. Ishtar sword. Okay, this one's got buffed, and if you remember this sword, this is actually a sword which has, I would say, mediocre damage, which stayed, with some really nice range bonus damage, but I will still like, I don't really suggest using this. Now, why was that? It's because ranged units are not that hard to kill. How many ranged units are actually tough to kill? That's like Elephant Archer. I could say War Chariots right now could be tougher to kill. but most of the ranged units just die, and you just don't really care about the extra damage to them. And the units that actually that you might like consider you putting this on, which could be like raiders, asabaras, I felt like they did not need a bonus. They did not need the bonus at all, because they already do the job well. So I was like, I don't really want this sword, because I don't see the reason why ranged units already die real fast. But okay, this one's got buffed slightly with the like 2% extra for the range bonus. But one thing that was added, it's pierce armor, 25.3%, which is really nice. But I'll talk about this later, because again, I would keep here and just don't want to get stuck here in the block. Then we got the Ishtar's Divine Wine, which got increased movement speed. I feel like the item was fine before, but okay, buff for my caravans. That's nice. My quest will be faster. Why not? Only a little bit, but whatever. And then we got another 4 items that got changed. So set sandals, which is movement speed. Okay, health. And then they added extra training time. I'll talk about this later. I honestly don't care about the set sandals, but there is one unit where I would consider using it. But I'll talk about it later. I'll just don't want to get stuck here. Okay, Ras, Ram Head of the Solstice. So this actually has got rework. So lower damage, almost doubled movement speed, and extra damage against buildings. So this Ram Head is actually, I would say before, it was really good to use on ram ships, because damage was really nice and you also got pretty okay movement speeds. So from my point of view, it was a good ram head for your ram ships. But then the Romans came out, and with them the Roman legendary store was added, and there's the ram head, the Scipio's ram head, which gives damage and pierce armor, which is like 20%. So then this ram head got, I would say, a very strong competition, and I would say Scipio actually overshadowed this a little bit. Although it was still good to use this. But if you were able to get Scipio, why would you use this? With this change, I feel like this is more or much better, not for ram ships. I feel like ram ships have actually lost this really good option, and now the best option for ram ships, in my opinion, is the Scipio. And this ram head has actually become really good ram head for battering rams, any you can think of. Why? Because, okay, in comparison to ram head of Knum, you lose the damage, you get something back. It's not as high, which I did some calculations, and like the difference between, or the relative difference is like 10%. So to get from this damage to the Knum's damage would be like 10%, which seems about the same as the movement speed here. Now, why I feel like this is actually really good ram head is, battering rams have one huge weakness, and it's like most of them have very low movement speed, which is only 4.5. Some of them got it better because they got some tags to actually improve that, like let's say Persian battering ram that gets extra, I think 25% movement speed, so they get above that. Then you have the Celtic ram, which is really fast. You have Farbeorder that is at 5 movement speed base. So I would say this definitely became great option for battering rams. Now, I don't say you need to replace ram head of Knum, but it's rather about your preference. Would you prefer weaker rams but faster moving, or very fast destruction with the ram head of Knum? That's what I would say. I mean, once you have the chance, definitely get one of these ram heads for your Sif, or you know what, because it's only 1 day reward, put it somewhere, try it out for yourself. Remember, there are also sappers that you can try to put this on, which can be interesting option as well. But yeah, try to get this one, because there's only one from the daily logins, so this is gonna be quite a rare one. Okay, then we got the medium armor, which actually has got buffed. I actually got, I think, like 2 pieces of these with these old stats, and I'll be honest, after trying it sometime, I was like, yeah, this medium armor did not feel that good. Now the buff, extra movement speed, extra critical hit chance. So health is the same, but the utility it offers is definitely better. If I had to say what I would suggest this item, it would be like some tanky units, which in my opinion, probably one of the best would be hoplites. Now, why there? It's because, hey, you can improve their movement speed, you can combine it with the summer light spear for another extra movement speed, and suddenly, hey, hoplites are moving much faster. So it would be like faster replacement, although they will be dying faster because they will have the lower health if you're using the Delian Archon or one of the defensive one, Gilgamesh or Rostam. So you lose like some defensive ability, but you'll get faster movement speed, so it should be easier for you to replace. But yeah, that's where I see it a little bit. And then we got the Ras Scepter of the Solstice. So healing buff to 50%, which is nice. Movement speed has been buffed a little bit. And I think cost has been always there, yeah. So healing and movement speed. So 1 unit, Priestess of Ra. This is rather supportive scepter, it just got buffed. That's pretty much it. So if you already had it, you don't have to worry about it. If you want it, make sure to log in. Which login is it? Week 4, last login, get it. It's a good supportive scepter, but I would still say that Pharaoh Scepter is much better option because empowered drop off is really strong ability because extra resources for you, and it's not like just one thing, it's like carry capacity, gather rate, and conservation in one thing, yeah, in one, which is really powerful. So I kind of hate the lack of empowered drop off. They still have it, but it's just not that great. But this scepter is more focused on the support, so if you want to try some more supportive priestess, I guess you could use this with Amulet, but I'm just gonna say it, Amulet is stupidly strong advisor. Don't use her because she's stupidly strong. Don't do that. That's my opinion, but okay, moving on. Okay, so we got back some of the mini quests which are down here, but I forgot this is not a part of a mini quest, but this is actually a vanity. So if you know the Snappy crocodile, or Snappy the summer crocodile, they call it here. Now you can place him in your capital city. So yeah, Rakoti store, buy him there. We'll see that. And then we got new quests. Obviously we got this quest, we got this quest, which are some new. Definitely you can look forward to those. And then we got a comeback. And if you remember from last year, Can't Take the Heat. This quest has been removed last year and now it's coming back. And I already played it and it's actually easier. Which I kind of dislike. It's easier quest now. But for me, I don't really care, okay? I would prefer the more challenging version, but this is fine. At least it's back, because I like the quest. And then there's also the Egyptian eviction. Now, with this one, I actually have one issue, and that is you can actually play it not only in Rakotis, you can also play the archived version. So if you wanna play the quest twice in a row, you actually can. But from my point of view, I don't like the quest, okay? I am not gonna play it. And in case of these 2 quests, you can actually check my videos that I have done, not last week, but like 2 years ago on every civ. So if you wanna see them for yourself, make sure to check them out. How to play these quests. We will be focusing this year on these new quests. And obviously I have some other work in mind as well. Then we also got new minigame, which is back in Big Trouble. This is actually a new minigame. Then we have the old ones, which are also quite rewarding. So if you are a player that does not have the skills or cannot find a partner for the legendary quest, hey, mini quests are actually nice in this event. Okay, one new thing is that we actually have a new quest giver, because previously the legendary quests were available at Prince Celeste, but because you have the Rakotis legendary quests that are available throughout the year, it has been moved, because it would be a mess. Okay, it would be a mess with like all the Rakotis quests and then the event quests added there. Huge mess. So we have new quest giver here. Then we have General Saneb with the mini games. Again, this one was added in previous years. Here you will find the mini games. Then we have the board, which you have the where you have the global quest. Then we have the Sparta rewards. Yes, at the quest giver here. Okay, and that's the end of this block. Finally. So we are moving into the game. And just in the main menu, if you look at this button, summer rewards, if you click on it, hey, there's the table with all the rewards throughout the week. So if you're not sure what you're looking for, or rather when you will get the items you want, you will check it here. And also question mark, hey. Okay, let's move on to the save. Okay, let me switch it to Greeks. So we are there. Okay, fast movement. Okay, so remember, if you want to start in the quest, start the event, you need to talk to the Marcus Pollux. Now, one thing I didn't mention, you need the save to be at least level 10. At least. So if you don't have level 10, you cannot use it. Once you're level 10, definitely go for the mini game quest, because those will help you level up really fast. Although it kind of makes me sad, because then you will still have to do the quest lines to unlock the repeatables. So careful with that, but yes, during the events you should be able to level up. So we are in the city, and you should definitely notice the symbols for the quest givers, whether it's the question mark, it's the exclamation mark. From my point of view, they seem much easier to spot, to be honest, because definitely I can see the question mark here, I can see it here. So, I don't know how it looks in the video, okay, so just, but yeah, Marcus Pollux, here you will find the city of the sun god quest, if you want to read it, blah blah blah. Here it is. Visit the city of Rakotis. You accept the quest, and you get 5 points upon arrival. Now, first thing you need to notice here, no pop-up. We have no pop-up during the summer event. Shame. So I cannot open it, read it, and like straightforward travel to Rakotis. No pop-up here. So you have to do it manually. So already something worse about this event. Hell yeah. Okay, now we arrive to Rakotis. Now the quest giver here is still Psychosaurus, and here are the Rakotis legendaries if you don't know what I was talking about. So yeah, you talk to him, thanks for coming. Yes, here are your 5 summer event points. And now you can see General Saneb here has become active. Here are your repeatables. And if I'm not mistaken, Wonders Under the Sun is the only one that you can play in Elite as well. So that's that. Otherwise, it's all mini quests. Here's a new one, the back in Big Trouble. So 12 minutes. I don't know what the timer is for exactly, but you get 1 of each material, 500 summer points, which is a really good reward for 12 minutes. That's better than what some legendary quests offers, to be honest. Okay, no, this is repeatable guy.
It is my pleasure.
Here's this guy. Okay, so here you have the 5 event legendary quest. So Can't Take the Heat, Egyptian Eviction from previous years, and then the 3 new ones, the Prince in the Nile, Nubians in the Middle, the Magi's Bounty, and some of the global ones which you will want, the Co-op one and Simmering in summer points. And I feel like these rewards have been reduced, because I feel like they were 500 before. I would have to check it, I don't know actually, but it feels like it's less than what it was. And here you have global quests, complete legendary quests, you get 1 extra material plus extra points. Only 1, okay, you can see, choose 1. And then relics of the solstice. So here you will find a quest. This is actually the one-time quest, because once you complete it, you'll get another one again for the 15. Choose one of these that you want to craft. So what do we have here? The Ras wall joints, and this is good alternative to the Athenian manual. Where I would suggest to put this would be maybe military production buildings, so you can build them up faster and start producing the units. Once you have more than enough of them, this can work. I could recommend also like tech buildings such as armory. That's where most of them I have, because it combines nice. Hey, I get the armory sooner and I can start researching sooner, and the train rate or research rate helps there as well, so I get the techs faster. So that's what I feel like. You could also use this on Egyptian fortresses as well, although for Egyptians I feel like, hey, the tool you usually put on them should be the Divine Hammer of Construction. Then you should be able to build the fortresses already faster. If you use multiple villagers, it should be up much faster. So I would rather, if I wanted to train the elephants faster, I would just go with the manual. But yeah, it is an alternative. You can use it definitely. It's a good item for you to use. Okay, Ishtar's gem studded, and this is definitely a different icon than what was in the block. Hang on, did I? Oh yeah. But yeah, this one I suggest putting on your units that you want to counter cavalry mainly. So mounted archers, spearmen, these are pretty okay units to use. I would say hoplites can be also really nice if you try to focus them more against cavalry. And in some scenarios you could use this on your main unit, just because, hey, you're not worried about infantry, you're not worried about ranged, it's the cavalry that's annoying, you wanna counter the cavalry, this can be a good item to help you. Ishtar's sword, like oh wait, no, I was not talking about it. But yeah, like I said, I don't really care about the range bonus damage. I think the pierce armor is nice addition, but I still don't want to use the sword, to be honest. But if you want to use it for some reason, then I suggest something like Raider, Asabara, if you want to focus those units more against ranged units. I would not really suggest it for your infantry, but you can, because the armor can combine, let's say, with healers. So if you put it together, let's say on longswordsmen, add some druids, that healing should be very effective against pierce damage. So this can be like one of those situations when you could use this item. So it's definitely better, but I would still say Sword of the Tiberius is much better option, better damage, and it offers health instead, which is working against every kind of damage. Okay, that's why I feel like it's better to go with Tiberius, but it is okay to use it. I mean, it was before as well, but it's just, why? So if you want to grab the sword, hey, you can grab a few pieces. Ashur's Arrows of the Solstice, like it's pretty much similar situation to Ishtar's gem studded. So mounted archers if you want the extra range, otherwise just use Apophis. And in some scenarios you could put it on your main unit if you want to counter the cavalry mainly, but if you already have Piercing Frost, just use the Piercing Frost, it's so much better. Otherwise I just don't see a reason to use Ashurs. You could maybe use it on Immortals theoretically, maybe even Babylonian siege towers, but yeah, I am not really sold on these arrows. I just feel like there are so many options, and until like Piercing Frost gets nerfed, yeah, whatever. Okay, Ashur's Rider of the Solstice, this is very good piece of item. This is definitely something I can recommend on fishing boats, because cost is really good on them, training time is really good on them, movement speed as well. So definitely you want to grab at least one for your fishing boats, and then I would say you can also grab one for your merchant transports. Same thing, cost is really nice, training time is very nice, and also you get movement speed. So again, all really good stats for your fishing boats, merchant transport. If you want to, you can theoretically put it on airoships, which is something I do, and like make them cheaper, easier to get out, and in some scenarios you could use them for early defense, which is a nice thing. So this is definitely a good item for you to craft as well. So far, yeah, the joints, the rudder, definitely good items to craft for you. Grab a few Ishtars if you want. The gauntlets. Then we got the Set's Kitten of the Solstice. This item I suggest putting on your Celtic Spearman or Norse Spearman. Obviously they are Spearmen, they'll be mainly focused against cavalry, so yeah, if you want to focus them mainly against cavalry, the cavalry armor obviously helps a lot. Very good for Spearman only quest if you ask me. Okay, any other units? I can suggest Sparaba Shield Bearers if you wanna. I mean, they are defensive units, so if you wanna make them sure to survive cavalry for as long as possible, then this is again good golf armor for them. Otherwise, I don't really suggest this golf armor for anything, because ranged units, if cavalry gets close, they are usually dead anyway, so who cares? It's better to just kill them than try to survive them with ranged units. Then you have like priests, again, that's pretty much same case. Villagers, nah, you don't fight with villagers, hopefully, unless you do some Celtic villager shenanigans. But yeah, Sparaba, Shield Bearers, Celtic Spearman, Norse Spearman, that's what I suggest. So that, make sure to grab a few of these as well. And then Set's Light Spear of the Solstice as well. This spear offers the best health, and it also has really nice movement speed. So I would suggest putting this on some of your more defensive units. So Hoplites, Sparaba, Shield Bearers are great example of this, because they can definitely utilize the health really well, and making sure you can reinforce your front line faster with the movement speed is also a nice addition to that. So definitely make sure to grab a few of these as well. But remember, check the daily logins so you don't get some extra unless you wanna then sell it later after the event is over. Okay, then I need to talk about the global quest over here at the wanted board. Here you can actually trade materials for extra points, and it seems that the ratio has actually been changed, because I remember before it was like one summer point per basic material. So if you wanted to trade the gold ingots, you get like stack one of 100, you will trade it for 100 summer points, and the advanced materials were 4 points per 1 unit of material. So it would be 100 silk cloths for 400 points, and you can see this has been reduced. So right now, if you take a look at this is like 75% as effective to what it was before. Same here, okay? It's still 4 times the value of the advanced materials are 4 times the value of basic ones. But yeah, if we compare it to the amount points earned for each material, it's definitely worse at only 75%. Still, it's worth trading the materials. And here you also find some global quests, like for example the Elephant Guardians, which are back. So you can have fun with Treasure Guardians, yay! And then some global quests like killing wolves, killing bears and moors. Honestly, I would not really care about these, because like, look at this, you have to kill 30 boars, but you get only 50 summer points. I mean, you seriously have to play quests with the boars, and preferably with a lot of boars. so not really worth it. And same goes for the others. So it's rather, hey, it's nice to get some extra, but don't really focus on this, okay? Then we have the general store, yay, and here are the items. So, set sash of the solstice. So as it was mentioned in the patch notes, previously it was 35,000, now it's 17.5 thousand. If you ask me, I was expecting the item to be very expensive at first, and I was hoping it would stay to be expensive. But I'm definitely glad that it went down. I just feel like it could have been a little bit more expensive, to be honest. But still, you need at least 7 of these because it's 1 per scout. And I definitely suggest getting this item because this is definitely the best scout item you can get. Why? It offers line of sight, movement speed, and health regen. All 3 of these very useful for your scouts. Line of sight, obviously you want to see as far as possible. Movement speed, you want to scout out as fast as possible. The faster you move, obviously, with the greater line of sight, the more you reveal over time. So it's definitely great in that scenario. And in any case, if your scout is taking damage, like let's say you're finding huntables, the health regen helps a lot. So it's definitely one of the best, if not the best, and in my opinion it is the best scout item you can get. So definitely make sure to get 1 for each of your civs because you need 1. And previously there was only 1 year when this item was available, so definitely you want to make sure you get it now because this is actually the 2nd year this item has been available for you to get. So if you have been lacking them so far, make sure to get them because this is definitely one of the best items from the summer event you can get. Then we have the shield, which has, I think it is the highest health you can find, some okay damage, okay movement speed. I am not really that a huge fan of this shield, but if you like it, go ahead, it's okay to use. I mean, it has pretty good health, it has some movement speed, which can be nice. But from my point of view, I prefer having shield with some armor because armor values on shields are really good actually. Which makes sense to me to just buff the armor rather than going with like small number of movement speed. But hey, only 10,000 points. It's nice. Last bow of the solstice. Now this bow I seriously like for the movement speed because with this I can put it on some faster units like mounted archers, for example. No, because like I said, they move faster, so if you increase it by another almost 12%, it's a really good movement speed. So I kind of like it on mounted archers. You can put it on something like war wagon, for example, so it's not that slow. Chariot archers could be okay as well in some cases, or if you want that ranged unit, you're putting it on to move faster because otherwise it's very slow, you can. So for example, I could see this being used, let's say, on elephant archers. Could be an option. If you want them that speed, it's possible. It's a pretty nice bow. Definitely can suggest mounted archers 100% if you want some good bow. Then we got the summer chests. These are small ones, so if you want some better loot, definitely go for the large chest. Then we have the vanity items here, again, weapon, helm, shield. If you want it, go grab it. Library of Horrors. This is the archive building, so if you build it at your home city, once the event is done, the new quests will be added there. You can play them for yourself. Now, one thing I've noticed is actually the cost of Library of Horrors, because I had to check it, and I believe from last year it was 17,000 summer points to get one of these. So now these libraries are now much cheaper. So if you want to get it, go get it. And honestly, I'm glad it became cheaper, because the main reason you would want these archive buildings was for the legendary quest. Otherwise you're getting it for the decoration, but it's very expensive in decoration. And with the ability for players to visit other players' cities, the library of, or not just the library, but all the archive buildings became a little bit less valuable, less desired, because other than just saving a few clicks, you just don't need them, okay? So it would be just pure decoration and a few click saver. So I'm definitely glad the price went down. And this, I believe, was the most expensive one. The Halloween one, I think, is 13,666. And the winter one was 15,000. So this was the most expensive one with the least amount of legendary quests from the event available to it. So from my point of view, it was overpriced for the value it was offering. It was like the worst. So I'm definitely glad it went down. And with the city visiting, it should have gotten really down. So if you want it right now, it's definitely cheaper, so it should be easier for you to get. Then we have the snapping, the summer crocodile. If you want that animal in your city, hey, go grab it. Lamp of Apophis, which is a nice decoration, you can get that. And then we have the consumables here, which are just epic versions of what you usually have in Rakotis. So if you want to get those and you don't have any other way where you would want to spend your summer points, this is like the final stage. And I believe this is all from the summer event, which this is gonna be a very long video. But yeah, my suggestion, try to play the legendary quests, especially the older ones, because those offer better summer point rewards. Although
I have what you need.
sorry,
No time to lose.
although I don't know the materials. What is this, like 4? This is also 4. Okay, once I know the quest for sure, I think some of these are quite fast. I mean, 2-star shouldn't be that slow to deal with. But yeah, 4 materials is okay to use, but if you do like can't take the heat, you can see more summer points, like 200, but the same materials. I would suggest get the archive and play the Lair of the Crocodile King, because it's very fast quest. It offers good amount of summer points, and I think also better material rewards. As you can see, you will have to play like, what is this, like 4 of these to get the first item, if you don't already have the materials. So yeah, for materials, definitely play the legendary quest. Otherwise you will have to play a lot of mini quests. If you don't have the legendary quest and you want to reach level 40 as fast as possible, these repeatables are very nice. I think some of them offer really good rewards as well, like Atreus offers 500 summer points, which is nice.
See you around.
So definitely you can do mini quests as well. Summer event actually has really good, well rewarding mini quests, if you ask me, but playing them all over again is just ugh. You don't want to do that. So yeah, for materials, quests, obviously I'm not gonna visit Sparta because I know they will just have such huge rewards on those quests, but who knows how long it takes them to actually get that done. So my advice for this summer event, yes, like I said, quest for the materials. One thing I need to suggest, and you should definitely do it, is trade your materials for the summer points over here, because that's, I would say, one of the best ways for you right now to get the points. I mean, except of some of the quests. Why is that? Because if you play the quests, the legendary ones, you'll be most likely getting some legendary items, but also some number of epic items. And then what you should do with those items, unless you want to sell them for coins, you should take them to Rome and dismantle them for the materials. And then once you have enough materials, trade them for the points. Try to abuse the dismantler as much as possible if you want the points. That's what I'm suggesting for you. So yeah, you see epic item, dismantle it. Legendary item, dismantle it. Unless it's something very good, either equip it or sell it to other players for coins if you want coins. But other than that, try to dismantle a lot of those items. I mean, for one leg you can get like 20 codexes, and like, imagine 20 codexes and you get like, it's not just legendary but like epic items as well. Where the codex is? There. It shouldn't be that hard to get the full stack of those materials, to be honest, during this event. So yeah, Dismantler, use it as much as possible. Dismantle the epic items, legendary items, if you don't want them. Do it, okay? It's your best way to... It's like a really good way of earning extra summer points. Use it, okay? That's my suggestion. And I guess that's all I have to say. So hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, press the like button, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, definitely look forward to some summer event legendary quest. Also the mini quest, I will have to take a look at that as well. And yeah, enjoy the event. Get many items, as many as you can. Some of them are very good. This was Psychosaurus. I'll see you next time. Bye!